So about 2 months ago, I made my top 3 least favorite Five Nights at Freddy's games, and I was thinking recently, why not remake that video? So welcome to my top 3 most favorite Five Nights at Freddy's games. Hope you guys enjoy this video, and I hope this one is as controversial as last time. So in my last video, I had 2 sections for every entry. The first section was talking about the gameplay, and the second section was talking about why I did not like it. This video, instead of obviously section 2 saying why I don't like it, it's going to say why I do like it. Also, during the gameplay section, I will also talk about the lore, to go along with gameplay, so it'll most likely be a longer section. Anyways, on to number 3. Also, another thing I don't think I stated in the first video, but I am going to state in this video, is that the games appearing in both of these videos are Scott-made games, and only Scott. I know you could say that I could put, VR on this because Scott was with that project, or AR because Scott was still in that project, but it's just Scott by himself making the game. No other company, no other, Illumix or Steelwool, just Scott. Scott Cawthon took the line, start off with a bang, and implemented it extremely well with Five Nights at Freddy's. More specifically, Five Nights at Freddy's 1, which comes in my number 3 spot on this list. Now, I know you may be thinking, 3? Why would you not put it higher? Well, I have reasons, but let's get into the main, gameplay and lore side. So, FNAF 1 is pretty simple gameplay sided. It's really just sitting and surviving. You're in this office, you're obviously unable to move, and you have 2 doors on your right and left side. And you can either shut the doors if animatronics are near the doors, or you can shine the lights to see if animatronics are there, or anything is around you. It's very, very simple. During the gameplay section, I will do a little bit of a brief moment of just going over the description of each animatronic. So there's 5 animatronics in the first game of Five Nights at Freddy's 1. The first and main animatronic is Freddy Fazbear. He's obviously a normal bear animatronic with a microphone. He has very quick movement, he's very fast, and you'll know when he moves by this sound right here. That laughing sound is when you know he moves. You can also hear a little bit like footsteps when he moves, and the only really way you can see him is by his glowing white eyes. Next up is probably the quickest animatronic next to Foxy, Bonnie. Bonnie is very fast with his movements. He's like really the only animatronic that moves on night 1 up to night 5. He moves super fast. He goes from many places. He goes from the show stage to the main dining room, to the hallway, to the closet, to your door, or the corner of your door. He has multiple movement attempts. He can also appear in parts and service, and Easter egg, stare directly into the monitor, which freaked me out the first time I saw it. I jumped. Next up is Chica the Chicken, the back singer, the extra singer in the band. She has one distinct feature, well, 2 technically. Her bib, which says let's eat, and then her cupcake, which obviously we named ourselves Carl the Cupcake. She has basically the same exact movement attempts, except she goes on the left side of the hallway, and also instead of going into the closet, she goes into the kitchen before going into the hallway. Next up is the most creepy, I would say, and very fast animatronic, Foxy the Pirate. Foxy is a very simple movement pattern, but also very fast movement pattern. Foxy has his own stage off to the left side of the main 3. He's got his little cove, and he has 3-4 different movement patterns. You'll see him peeking out of the cove, you'll see his eyes and his jaw, and then he'll sit on the edge of the cove, and then he'll run. You'll know he's gone, obviously by the cove being open, but also by this sign. It says, "It's me" on it. That's how you know he's gone, and he's on his way to kill you. Now, the 5th animatronic is the most mysterious animatronic of 2014, which is Golden Freddy, or also known as Yellow Bear in the files. Golden Freddy he really doesn't have a movement pattern. He just moves from a certain point to another point super fast. So in order to activate him, you kind of have to get him on a chance. I don't fully know the chance, but I'll put it on screen. So you have to look on cam 28 also known as the West Hall, right next to your door where Bonnie will be. And usually it's a little poster of Freddy, but on occasions the poster will change to Golden Freddy's mask staring dead set at you, and the screen will glitch and you'll hear Golden Freddy's laugh, which is this. That laugh. And then once you lift on your monitor, he'll be in your office. If you don't lift back up your monitor in time, you'll die and your game will reset. The lore of Five Nights at Freddy's 1 is very short and sweet. But, like I said, it's sweet. Even though it's short, which people don't really like, long lore can get very, very complicated. But the lore mainly goes that, Mike Schmidt, which is revealed by the check at the end of the game, supposedly, well, not supposedly, but does work at this pizzeria, and as Phone Guy states, whenever they see a human, they think it's an endoskeleton, want to stuff them in a suit.
Now, concerning your safety, the only real risk to you as a night watchman here, if any, is the fact that these characters, if they happen to see you after hours, probably won't recognize you as a person. They'll most likely see you as a metal endoskeleton without its costume on. Now, since that's against the rules here at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, they'll probably try to forcefully stuff you inside a Freddy Fazbear suit.
Now, obviously, that's BS. That's not true at all. But one main, theory we're thinking of is that Phone Guy is forced to say this stuff, which we don't know. At least, I don't know. But the main lore is that 5 kids were murdered, and Purple Guy, or William Afton, is supposedly, in, court area getting tested, but obviously, he hid the bodies in the suits, so they don't really have good evidence that he actually did the crimes. I mean, this is like the 1900s we're talking about. They didn't have very good, fingerprint stuff we have today. Why do I like Five Nights at Freddy's 1? Well, I like Five Nights at Freddy's 1, and I use a abbreviation called the 3 S's. No, not Spooky Scary Sunday, you Corey Kenshin lovers. I'm talking about the 3 S's, what I call short, sweet, and scary. First off is short. It's a short game. It's very small. You're only in one room, and you just survive until 6 a.m. by fending off killer animatronics. Sweet, like I said, the lore is sweet. It's very cool. It's sweet. It's short and sweet. And finally, scary. This game is very scary because not only can you not really see the animatronics, it picks up pace a lot. You go from night 2 to night 3 and it picks up pace like snap. It's super scary. Everything moves quick, and once you get to night 5, everything comes out to get you. Next up in number 2 is Sister Location. Oh my gosh, Scott outdid himself with Sister Location. This game really added on so much to FNAF. Not only from a lore standpoint, but to a game standpoint. This game really changed FNAF. It went from sitting in one room, moving back and forth from doors, lights, cameras, to moving around a whole entire underground facility, watching out for killer, fun time, robotic, high-tech animatronics, and getting lured to eventually your death by a scooper. Now, I want to talk about the lore before the gameplay because there's a crap ton of lore in this game. Oh my gosh, it almost feels like it's just like a bucket of water and it was just poured on top of us. There's a lot of lore in this game. So, first of all, I want to go over probably the most, I want to say cool lines of FNAF next to Henry's line. William Afton's opening in this game, I feel is just he sounds so calm, even though he's designing a freaking killer animatronic. Take a listen.
There's no doubting what you've achieved on a technical level. These are clearly state-of-the-art. There are just certain design choices that were made for these robots that we don't fully understand. We were hoping that you could shed some light on those.
She can dance. She can sing. She's equipped with a built-in helium tank for inflating balloons right at her fingertips. She can take song requests. She can even dispense ice cream.
With all due respect, those aren't the design choices we were curious about, Mr. Afton.
So William Afton and his company, Afton Robotics, made these animatronics. Circus Baby, Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, Ballora, and then eventually they all combined to make Ennard, and he also made, little small animatronics, Biddy Babs, Mini Renas, Bonnet, and Bon Bon. Now there are some secret Easter egg loading screens type things that show blueprints of how some of these animatronics work, like Funtime Freddy and Circus Baby, I believe, as well. I will show these things on screen. You can pause and take a look at them, and the Funtime Freddy one really shows what William Afton's goal was for this game. Like, whoa. The animatronics in this game are, well, in real life in this game, are rented out for children's birthday parties. But then they were put in this facility due to, well, William Afton covered up a gas leak, but it was actually the death of William's daughter, Elizabeth Afton, by Circus Baby. That is the main plot of this game, is leading up to, finding out what is up, because Michael Afton came down here to discover, the depths of William's, dark side. This game shows the depths of how psychotic William Afton really is. But yes, every single time you die, you get transported to an 8-bit minigame, and you shoot cupcakes at kids, and eventually at the end, you give an ice cream cone to Elizabeth Afton, and see how she died. And eventually, at the confirmed ending of this game, all the animatronics combine to make Ennard. And Ennard is voiced by, basically, Baby, and lures Michael to the scooper room to get content warning, to get scooped, and Michael, gets Ennard inside of him. What the fuck? Back to the gameplay. Every single night in this game offers a brand new set of challenges, but also usually a brand new room to discover. So the first night is very simple. You just check and make sure every single animatronic is on their stage and performing well. The second night is really just focusing on Biddy Babs for the first part, then going through Ballora Gallery and turning on the generator while avoiding Funtime Freddy, which sadly is the only time we get to see Funtime Freddy active, able to kill us. The third night is finding out that Funtime Freddy has been put in parts and service, and we have to crawl through Funtime Foxy's auditorium to go repair him. And the danger this night is Funtime Foxy and Bon Bon. Sorry. Night 4, which I hate with a passion, is where Baby kills you. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that, but when you say it out loud about Baby, that sounds super weird. But yeah, Circus Baby kills you and puts you inside this suit, which we theorize to be Funtime Chica. Anyways, she puts you inside the suit, and then once you are able to, once Baby frees you enough for the cameras to see you, you get released from your hell of fending off Biddy Babs and winding up the spring locks. Now, there is an alternate ending, but it's not canon, is where if you actually get to the part where, you kill Elizabeth, because you're playing as 8-bit Baby, you're able to go left instead of Baby saying go right, and access the private room. Now, this private room is back to OG Five Nights at Freddy's gameplay. So you're inside this private room and you have to fend off Ennard. Ennard is extremely aggressive this night. You have to shut doors, shut vent doors, watch them on the cameras. I'm not sure what the pronouns are for Ennard. But yeah, basically survive until 6 a.m. and Baby's saying voice lines like, I thought I could trust you, I'm gonna get you, and stuff like that.
Sometimes I don't understand why people do the things that they do. You won't die, and it will only hurt for a moment.
Why do I like Sister Location? The main reason why I like Sister Location, the main reason why everybody likes Sister Location, is just the vast change Scott made to Sister Location compared to other games. I mean, so much change. It was basically a start of a free roam era of FNAF. I mean, you got to free roam, not really free roam, you still kind of had to go on a certain path, but it was still like going out of, the comfort zone of just one room. You got to explore a whole underground facility and, fend off many other animatronics in their own, territories. So it was very game-changing at the time of 2015, 2016, I think it came out in 2015. But it was very, very game-changing. And this game took a long time. And it was also the first game with voice acting. And everybody loves Funtime Freddy's voice. Some characters didn't get a voice until UCN or VR, but still, their voices then and the voices here in this game are still all amazing. I love them all, and I love this game. I have to add an honorable mention to talk about this game and my soft spot for this game. FNAF World, or Five Nights at Freddy's World if you want to be technical, is one of my favorite games, of all time. Now, at the time when this game came out, not many people liked it. Really, only content creators said it was good, because, they make content. But, I'm not saying that I don't like certain games or stuff. I'm just saying some content creators, kind of said it, but I'm guessing some people actually meant it. But what I'm trying to say is that a lot of people didn't like it. Not because it sucked, because this game is amazing, but mainly because of the time it came out. This game came out after FNAF 4, which, obvious thing. FNAF 4 is one of the scariest games in the whole entire franchise. So coming off of FNAF 4, which you're fending off Nightmare animatronics, which looked like they're straight out of a horror movie, then going to a plushie made game, little tiny adventure characters, is a little bit is a stretch, is a very vast change. And I can totally understand what people, saw. And I'm very sad to say that Scott does not like this game. Even though people say they like it now, Scott still thinks it's an absolute mistake, and he hates this game. Which I'm I love this game, but I can totally get where he's coming from because nobody really liked it at the time. Not because it sucked, like I said, but because it was good. I only made this thing an honorable mention. I'm not going to talk about very much. The gameplay is so much gameplay. Basically, it's an RPG adventure game where you're, just following Fredbear's lines and killing bosses, getting all the characters. It's super fun. I never really got the chance to actually play this game, but I still find this game extremely fun. And this game is a 10 out of 10. I love this game. For the final spot, in my favorite Five Nights at Freddy's game of right now, you could say, is Five Nights at Freddy's 2. This game, you may be thinking, why is the second game, and not very crazy game-changing, is your favorite? Well, it's mainly down to the animatronics designs and, the more lore in this game. Because this game really changed from just sitting in an office, closing doors and shining lights and going on a camera. It changed that and added multitude of different gameplay mechanics and multitude of different animatronic mechanics. Now, before I get into gameplay and lore, I want to go over the animatronics because there's 10 of them. Not 10, but there's a lot of them. So the first one are the toys. There's Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, and Toy Chica. Toy Bonnie has a movement pattern. I'm not gonna go over the movement pattern. I'm just gonna go over how they get in the office. Toy Bonnie gets in the office on the right side vent. Toy Chica gets in the office on the left side vent, and Toy Freddy gets in the office through the hallway in front of you. Mangle and Balloon Boy. Mangle goes through a weird movement pattern, and you can tell when she is at the office by this noise right here. And Balloon Boy has a very quick movement pattern. He goes from this camera over to the left vent, and eventually, if you don't put on your mask for about 5 seconds, he gets in your office and you're prone to Foxy killing you. The puppet marionette, same thing, is really only one mechanic. Just wind up the music box, But the annoying thing is that you can't actually turn her off in custom night, which is extremely annoying. Now the withered animatronics. There's Withered Freddy, Withered Bonnie, Withered Chica, Withered Fox, and Golden Freddy. Withered Freddy is a very simple movement pattern. He just comes straight down the hallway like Toy Freddy. Now Withered Bonnie and Withered Chica feel like they would be the same thing as Withered Toy Bonnie and Toy Chica, their counterparts, but they actually are different in their ways because they actually swap vents from their counterparts. Toy Bonnie. God, I keep mixing it up. Withered Bonnie goes in the same vent as Toy Chica, and Withered Chica goes in the same vent as Toy Bonnie. But you don't actually see them in the vents like Toy Bonnie and Toy Chica. They just appear in the office, and you have to flip down your mask super quickly. And Withered Golden Freddy only appears on one night of the main game, which is night 6. He'll appear, and the only way to get rid of him is to flip down your mask. And actually, if you don't do anything and you shine the light too much in the hallway, he'll also appear in the hallway and can kill you. Now, the gameplay of FNAF 2 is simple, but it's not as simple as FNAF 1. Basically, you have 3 different, things to your advantage in this game. You have your first thing, which is new. You have your Freddy Fazbear mask, which you can use to fend off almost every animatronic besides the puppet and Withered Foxy. Next thing is the cameras. The cameras I don't use very much besides to look at the puppet, but you can look around the whole entire pizzeria. And finally is the light, which obviously is useful for, checking if animatronic has the vents, or in the hallway, or flashing Foxy. That sentence sounds so weird. Now there's one big gameplay mechanic that changed from FNAF 1 to FNAF 2. Obviously you have no doors in this game, you just have lights, cameras, and a mask. But obviously that feels more than enough, because if you had doors, that would literally be like cheating. Now the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is more, given to us a lot more. Sorry, I'm stuttering so damn much. There's more lore in this game than FNAF 1. So, the main person we play as until night, I think it's 6, is Jeremy Fitzgerald. Now, this guy eventually sadly dies at the end of night 6, I believe, night 5, by the bite of 87, not bite of 83. So, I apologize, I mixed up something. Jeremy Fitzgerald actually is on the night shift until night 6. On the custom night is when the new character comes in, which goes by the name of Fritz Smith. But what we're thinking is it's actually Michael with his mother's last name. So he comes in on 7th night, and you're maybe thinking, why is he coming in on the 7th night? Well, really what we're thinking is that we're pretty sure that this game is really appears on the timeline long down the line. So it's really after, his father dies. So he's just, seeing what everything's came to, and obviously he's fending off every animatronic. Now, why do I like Five Nights at Freddy's 2? I kind of said in the beginning, but it's really just based on new mechanics, new everything, and also new animatronics. Now, the animatronics in this game, which I really like, are the Wither animatronics. Now, the main reason why I like those animatronics is because just how creepy they look, but also because how much of a resemblance they appear to Fredbears. And Fredbears is obviously my favorite style of animatronics, Spring Bonnie, Fredbear. I love those animatronics. It's such a cool design of animatronics. But mainly it's just because it kind of gives you your first glimpse of those animatronics, but they're also extremely creepy because, no face, no left arm with Bonnie, no hands with Chica, no eyes for many of them. Their hands are, their shell is gone. They have their endoskeleton revealing. It's all super withered, but it's also super creepy knowing that animatronic is so withered, but it's still moving and able to still kill you in their own certain ways. Now, like I said, also the other thing that's new is that there's more new things in this game. So not only is there, Phone Guy has new lines to say, but also because there's so much more to keep watch of, that it feels so much more chaotic, but it's also kind of fun seeing how everything is gonna move. Because you got Foxy, which obviously started off as a COVID animatronic that only had 4 movement patterns, to being the hardest animatronic to do within this game, and then Freddy being the most secretive animatronic to appearing in your office and trying to grab you. And that is pretty much it on my number 1 Five Nights at Freddy's 2, my favorite FNAF game. And that's it for this video. I don't really have very much more to go over in this video. I think I've gone over pretty much everything. If I missed something, you know, on the lore side or gameplay side or anything, if I missed anything on those sides, obviously don't call out, like, why I like it, because those are my own personal opinions. But if I missed anything, like lore or gameplay, please tell me down in the comments, and I'm open to, you know, responding or realizing what I missed. So I appreciate you guys for watching this. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video like my last video. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.